Okay, let's unpack this. If you're involved in building or designing the backbone of a modern communication service provider, a CSP, you definitely know the architecture is, well, incredibly complex.
It really is.
So today we're doing a high-speed deep dive. We're looking at the foundational blueprint, specifically the design principles driving the Salesforce Communications Cloud.
That's right. And our goal really is to give you a genuine shortcut. Move past just listing features and get straight into the strategic decisions, the why behind these massive deployments.
Right.
We analyze the source material we have and the message. It's crystal clear. Architectural planning is absolutely paramount.
How clear? Give us the breakdown.
Well, the structure of the critical knowledge points we looked at, it puts 60%, a huge chunk on planning and design.
60%.
Yeah. Discovery is like 24% and delivery is only 16%. So that tells us understanding why you choose a specific tool, how these big carriers enforce rules, manage their inventory, automate complex service logic. That's the most critical expertise. We're not just learning what button to click.
No.
We're learning why the system's built the way it is.
I really appreciate that focus. It means we're looking at the core architectural mandates. Let's just jump right into that critical phase.
Yeah.
Enforcing business rules,
Yeah.
the constraints.
Agreed. This is really where the platform protects the actual business model.
Let's start with a classic scenario, something you see in, well, many telcos. Our fictional CSP, let's call them Fiber Corp.
Okay.
They have a hard business rule,
Yeah.
a consumer account, max 4 active mobile lines, period.
Right. A common limit.
We need to enforce this limit during order capture.
Hmm.
Stop the agent, or even the customer, from adding that 5th line. And critically, must be declarative, no custom code. What's the architectural best practice here?
Okay, the architectural answer. It has to be a constraint rule, specifically one of the validation type.
A constraint rule. Okay. Why that specific tool? I mean, a lot of platform developers might think, oh, I'll just use the standard validation rule on the order object.
Yeah.
Why doesn't that work here?
Yeah, that's an excellent point, and it really gets to scale and scope. A standard validation rule, it only checks the thing you're trying to save right now, the order itself.
Right, the current transaction.
Exactly. It doesn't look at the existing services the customer already has. What's kind of fascinating about the constraint rule is it's designed to operate on the account's installed base.
Ah.
It specifically checks the number of active mobile line assets already tied to that customer account before the system even allows adding a new line to the order.
So the constraint rule enforces compliance against the customer's entire service history, basically, making sure that business rule holds globally, not just for this one transaction.
Precisely.
That really elevates it, doesn't it? From just a data quality check to more of a core architectural guardrail.
That's exactly it. It enforces that business asset limit declaratively, guaranteeing compliance right at the configuration stage, which is crucial in these high-volume telco environments.
Okay, let's pivot a bit. From that technical constraint to strategic measurement. Let's say a CSP is digitizing its entire front office. Big goal.
Huge goal, multi-million-dollar initiative usually.
And their core strategic aim is increasing customer self-service adoption. If you're the CTO, what's the single most direct key performance indicator, the KPI you watch, to see if this transformation is actually working?
Yeah, this forces you to really distinguish between, cause and effect. You'll definitely see benefits like fewer calls to the service center.
For sure, read up so.
But those are secondary. They're indirect outcomes. The most direct, the most actionable KPI for self-service adoption. It's the digital channel adoption rate.
Meaning, the actual raw percentage increase of orders placed directly through the customer self-service portal, instead of via an agent or in a store.
Exactly that. That metric directly reflects the successful intended shift in customer behavior towards those digital channels you've invested so much in.
Okay.
If that rate isn't climbing, your digital transformation, well, it's probably failing, regardless of how many call center metrics might look better on the surface.
That puts a really fine point on measuring success. Okay, moving into product design. This is where the complexity of telco bundles really lives, isn't it?
It absolutely does. Let's talk about the Enterprise Product Catalog, the EPC. That's the master database, defining every single service and item they sell.
Right. So we need to standardize a technical attribute. Let's use download speed as an example.
Good one.
With specific values like 100 Mbps, 500 Mbps, 1 Gbps. And we need to reuse this consistently across every single internet product family the CSP offers. How do we model this attribute in the EPC to guarantee that standardization and reuse?
Okay, for maximum standardization, maximum reuse, you have to define this attribute as a characteristic on a product specification.
A characteristic on the specification. Why the specification is the source of truth? Why not just define it, on each individual product offering?
Because the specification is the blueprint. It's the template.
Yeah.
By defining download speed there on the spec, when you later create multiple different product offerings, like, say, a Fiber Pro plan and a small business internet plan, they both inherit that standardized characteristic.
Ah,
And if you ever need to add a new speed tier, you update the specification once,
this once.
and it propagates across the entire catalog consistently. It's like an architectural defense against data drift and inconsistency creeping in over time.
That makes perfect sense.
And building on that, let's talk configuration flexibility. Right within those bundles, we've got an Office Internet Plan bundle.
Okay.
It includes a Wi-Fi router as a child product. Now, here are the business rules.
Uh-huh.
Customers can select up to 3 routers, but we want the default selection to be 2, and crucially, they can select 0 if they already have their own gear.
Right, that's a classic challenge, managing minimums, maximums, and those smart defaults all at once.
Correct. And to handle this declaratively, the bundle structure configuration relies entirely on cardinality settings.
Cardinality.
Yep. Cardinality min must be 0. That allows the 0 selection. Max must be 3, setting the upper limit. And the default quantity must be 2. This whole sophisticated requirement, handled purely by declarative settings, it really shows the power of these specialized product modeling tools.
That is a powerful demo of configuration without code. Okay, now for a critical migration scenario, let's imagine we've successfully moved over the core stuff. Customer accounts are migrated, the enterprise product catalog is fully migrated, everything's there.
Okay, big steps done.
But we need to switch on the sales process immediately. The configure, price, quote, CPQ functionality needs to work now. What core data entities must be migrated right after products and accounts to make CPQ actually functional?
This is such a classic dependency check, and it's a total roadblock if you miss it. The crucial answer, the non-negotiable: price lists and price list entries.
Price lists and their entries. So even if the entire product catalog is perfectly migrated, the system is basically dead in the water for sales without the pricing info.
Absolutely. Think about it. Products are just metadata, just descriptions, until they're linked to a price context.
Yes.
Price lists determine when and where a product can even be sold. And the price list entries, they hold the actual dollar amounts, the monetary value. Without both of those, the system has no calculation engine. CPQ cannot generate a quote, full stop.
That is the bottleneck you just cannot afford to overlook in any kind of platform rollout, isn't it?
You really can't. It's fundamental.
That's a critical takeaway. Okay, let's shift gears again. Let's talk about automating flow and complex business logic, the actual brains of the system.
Yeah, let's get into the automation. Let's discuss guided selling for sales agents. Imagine building a really complex multi-step flow. It's got heavy conditional branching, meaning the path changes a lot based on user input. And it needs to efficiently call multiple server-side lookups, what we call data raptors in this context, to fetch or save complex bits of data. Now, standard Salesforce flow, it's gotten much better,
Excellent.
right?
It's very capable now.
So why should the CSP architectural team even bother with a specialized tool here?
That's a great challenge. If Standard Flow can do some of this, why reach for the industry's cloud tool, OmniScript?
It really comes down to architectural resilience, the user experience, and frankly, efficiency at telco scale. OmniScript is the declarative, component-based tool designed specifically for these complex, multi-step guided user flows.
Okay.
While standard flow is powerful, OmniScript handles that really complex conditional logic and branching much more gracefully, declaratively. And critically, it's optimized to efficiently call those data raptors.
Optimized how?
By minimizing server round trips,
So-
reducing latency, which is absolutely essential when an agent is sitting there live, guiding a customer through a complex configuration. You can't have lag.
Right. The experience needs to be smooth. So the specialization is about handling that high complexity branching and being optimized for those data integration calls. It's built for the speed and depth of the telco sales cycle.
Exactly. It's purpose-built for that guided selling user experience. Makes a huge difference.
Okay, that leads perfectly into fulfillment automation then. Once an order is complete, often the very final step in the whole orchestration sequence is sending that, hey, your service is ready message
Yep, the completion notification.
to the customer via SMS or email, probably using an external system like Marketing Cloud. This absolutely has to be a fully automated system task. What piece of the order orchestration process handles this specific step?
Okay, this requires an auto task within the order orchestration plan.
An auto task.
Right. And this auto task is configured to execute something called an integration procedure. And that integration procedure is what actually makes the call out to the external marketing cloud API. The key bit is auto task. It does this final communication step automatically. No human intervention needed. Removes the risk of error or delay.
Excellent. Okay, now for the really dense business logic. Let's forget pricing calculation for a second.
Okay.
We need to create highly complex dynamic commission rules for the sales team. The payout percentage. It's calculated based on, say, 3 different variables: regional quota attainment, the specific product type they sold, and maybe the contract length the customer chose. This is complex, non-pricing logic.
Right. Very dynamic, multivariable stuff. What's fascinating here is that the architectural guidance, it still points us toward a specialized declarative tool for this. The recommended solution is calculation procedures.
Wait a minute. Calculation procedures. If this isn't calculating the final price on the quote, why are we using a calculation procedure? Isn't that overkill or misnamed?
Not at all, actually. Think of calculation procedures as like the industry's cloud specialized engine for managing complex variables declaratively. It's like having this dynamic, almost spreadsheet-driven logic layer that sits completely outside of custom code. They are designed to manage any complex, rule-based computation. Doesn't matter if it's pricing or tax calculation, or, like in this case, a really dynamic commission structure that needs to reference multiple variables and follow complex rules.
So it keeps this critical business logic easy to audit and manageable without calling in developers every time.
Exactly. That is the fundamental distinction. These specialized tools aren't just for the final revenue number, they're for any complex logic that needs multivariable, rule-based processing.
That's a key insight. It's about choosing the specialized declarative tool for the specialized business challenge, whatever that challenge is.
Precisely.
Okay, our final section. Let's cover inventory and external channels. Foundational stuff for a CSP. Let's talk about asset management. During any deployment, you're dealing with 2 main asset types, right?
Yep, 2 crucial ones.
The commercial asset, that's the subscription service the customer actually pays for, like the gold internet plan.
Right, the thing on the bill.
And the technical asset, that's the physical component that gets deployed, like the modem with serial number 123.
Exactly, the physical box or the line identifier. And this hierarchy between them, it's absolutely non-negotiable. If you mess this up during migration,
Boy.
creates chaos.
A billing and service nightmare. The standard practice, the mandate really, is that the technical asset record must be linked directly to its corresponding commercial asset record, always in a parent-child structure. Okay, so the subscription is the parent, the physical device is the child, linked correctly. Why is this explicit link so fundamentally essential to the whole CSP model?
Well, that hierarchy is required for everything important downstream. Accurate service tracking, usage measurement, correct billing, and maybe most importantly, full lifecycle management of that asset. You simply cannot properly bill for a service or provision it correctly if you don't know exactly which physical component it relies on. And you can't track your physical equipment accurately if you don't know which service contract is actually paying for it. It connects the customer's contract directly to the physical infrastructure.
Got it. It's the glue. Okay, final question. External channels. Let's say the CSP is building a new, dedicated B2C mobile app.
Very common scenario now.
This app needs to securely manage customer profiles, let them maybe change services, view their active services. What API standard is the architectural mandate for integrating Communications Cloud with external digital channels like this mobile app?
The primary recommendation from Salesforce architectural guidance, it's using OpenAPI, specifically the TMF-based APIs for integrating with these external channels.
TMF. What does TMF stand for, and why is that the industry standard choice here?
TMF stands for the TM Forum. They're a global industry association. And these standards, like, you'll hear codes like TMF 637 for customer management or TMF 6202 for product ordering. They are globally recognized standards designed specifically for telecommunications integration.
Telco specific.
Exactly. So if you're building a new digital channel like that mobile app, starting with these standardized TMF APIs ensures compatibility, scalability, and just general industry best practice. It helps you avoid creating proprietary data silos right from day one.
Makes sense. Build on the standard. A fantastic challenge to end on. Thanks so much for guiding us through this architecture deep dive today.
My pleasure. It was great digging into it.